So hey, what's up guys? Today I'm back with a new video. In this video, I'm going to talk about classes. So classes are basically things that store a lot of data. You can import them in different files and you can store a lot of data. If you have ever done the random module, which we have done in one of my previous videos. So if I do import random is a class. It's a class from another file, but it's built-in function, so I don't need to type the file name. But if I import the GUI module, or let's say the Pygames module, I haven't done this module in one of my videos, but I'm just giving an example. So Pygames is, I don't have it right now. I don't have that module. You need to do a pip install. So if I go in my terminal and type pip install pygame, I think it should work. Oh, I typed the wrong thing. Game. Now it's gonna work. Wait, I already have it. Oh, I put an S in there. Sorry guys. So I already have Pygame, but import Pygame. So this is not gonna work if I just import Pygame. I need to put from Pygame import everything. For the everything you use the star symbol, but yeah, cause it's not a built-in module. Built-in modules you don't need to define from what file you're getting it, and yeah, and using classes you can make your own module. So yeah. So let's get back to the import random one. So how you use classes is you store a bunch of functions in there. For this video, I'm just gonna make 2 classes and talk about them. I'm also gonna tell about inheritance in classes, so yeah. So how you use a thing of a class. So like random is a class, and to access one of its functions, I'm gonna type dot and then the function name. So there are like million functions. So there's randbytes, random, randint, randrange, rand.seed, random.shuffle, and all that stuff. There's even rand sample, and there's too many functions, but we need to tell Python which function we want to use out of the class. So I want to use the randint function. Now the randint function takes 2 parameters. One is the starting point, and the second is the ending point. So I'm just telling that just get any random number out of or from between 1 to 3 and just give it back to me. So right now it's gonna do nothing because I'm not printing it. If I print this out like that, it's gonna print out a random number each time. This time it was 1. Next time it's 3. The next time it's 2. And each time it's just a random number. So that's how each class works. You first put the class name in and then dot rand it. So now let me tell you how to make a class. I'm just gonna delete everything. So for making class, you type class and then your class name. If you checked my video on naming and spacing conventions, you always do classes in Camelcase. So if I just give it a name, for now I'm gonna give it number generator. I'm gonna generate even numbers in this class using a function number generator. So as you guys see, it's saying something, and if I hover over it, it says class names should use Camelcase Conventions. So Camelcase is how it's done over here. Use capital letters in start of each word, and you separate the words using capital letters right here. You don't use underscores. So I'm gonna just change this to number generator. Then you just put a colon and you're done. So now I'm gonna make a function. Now, if you guys have seen my functions video, I'm gonna leave its link in the description down below. To make a function, you type def the function name. I'm gonna name the function generator and colon, and you always give the parameter self, because I'm gonna show you the use of self in another example, but you always put self in, and the first parameter in every function of a class will always be the self one, because you can name it anything, but the first parameter is always going to refer to that. So I'm going to type self back in. You can name it anything. It does not need to be named self, as I showed you guys. So, but self is just like what good programmers use, and yeah. So def generator self, that's our function, and then I wanted between 1 and 10, so I'm going to use the range function to tell it from what range to what range I want it to do. So for I is just going to be my number range, in range, and so I wanted to start from 1 and end up at 10, but I won't put in 10. It's not gonna count the 10 because I'm starting at 1. I need to start at 0, then it will loop around 10 times, but I want to start from 1, so I put the 1 in, and then I put 11. That's when it's gonna loop 10 times. So that's my for loop. I'm gonna put a colon at the end, and inside the for loop, so if I print out I real quick, I need to run the function. So to run the function, as I showed you guys, but in the random function this didn't happen. But first you need to put the class in a variable. So number generator. So that's my class, and you need to put colons. So that's it. Now to run that, I'll do num dot generator, and I'm gonna run that. And print out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that works. Now I wanna sort out the I so that it only prints out 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. I want to sort it out. I want to say if it's 2, 4, 6, 8, or 10, just do that, or else throw it out. So I'm not going to specify that if it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. What if I want it 100? I won't specify each even number. I wanted to sort it out by itself. So I'm going to tab that out. So for that, I'm going to make an if statement. If 2, and if you guys remember, in my previous videos, I've used this many times. If 2 mod means modded by I. So this gives us the remainder. If I do divide, that's going to divide it and give us the answer. We need the remainder, because if we divide any number, even number by 2, we'll get 0. And if we divide any odd number by 2, we'll get not 0 answer. Yeah, not 0 answer. So now I'm going to do 2 mod I, and then I'm going to put, if 2 mod I equals 2, you put 2 equals to tell it, and equals to 0, print it out. Now it's gonna sort everything out for me. Oh wait, what have I done wrong? Is it I mod 2? I think I did that wrong. It's I mod 2. Yeah, it's I mod 2. Sorry guys, I did that wrong. So it's going to print that I out. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And that works. It's sorting everything out. So this is a simple class. Now let me show you the example in which you use this self thing. I'm gonna make a new function named def person name. Def person name. Then I'm gonna put a colon and self. Now this is for my second class, not for my first. For my first class, I'm going to use underscore init. So init, it initializes these variables at the start. And I'm going to change the class name. I'm going to make it to people. And I'm going to make right here people. And I'm going to make that to P. So that's good. Now I'm gonna, in the init, it initializes everything you put in the self. So self stores in the initialized variables that you gave it. So I'm gonna give it a variable like self. So you use self dot person1. You don't need to name it person1. You can name it anything. Equals. So now person1 is stored under self. So I can use it anywhere in the class. I don't need to make it like a global variable or anything. So I can now use it anywhere in the class. Self.person1 is equal to, I'm going to name him Mark, and self.person2 is equal to Coral, how you pronounce it. And then I'm going to make a function def person underscore name and self. So it's going to take every single variable from self. Now I'm going to do p1 is equal to person1, or I think I can use it directly if I remember correctly. So person, I'm going to print out person1, print person1. I think that should work. No, it's not. Oh, okay. The problem is, so I'll do p1 is equal to self dot person1. So now I can print out p1. Yeah. So the self variable stored everything inside it, stored every variable I gave inside it, and then I can use it anywhere in any function I want inside my class. And then I'm going to name p2 is equal to self dot person2. Oh, it's self. So self dot person2. So you can even do like this, like self dot person1, and I can print directly. I don't need to put in variables. Variables just make it easier. So p1 comma p2. So now I'm gonna run it. Oh, I didn't define. So I'm gonna name this p, and I'm gonna name that person underscore name, and that should work. We don't need to call the initialize function over here, as you guys saw, because initialize itself already after we press the run key. So make itself initialize without even the person telling it to get initialized. So as you guys see, it printed out Mark Cole, and it took out the values from here and printed out. So that's cool. So that's what classes can do. They can really help you make your code really short and easy. Now I'm going to talk about inheritance. So inheritance means a class is taking functions from another class and putting it inside it. Like, I'll tell you guys in a second. So, for example, if we use the person named class, and I'm gonna just put in a couple more people in here. Self dot person 3 is equal to, let's name him I don't know, anything. I'm gonna name him anything. And I'm gonna name person 4 I'm gonna name him like Rex. So now I'm gonna make another class, and I'm gonna name it taking, because it's taking from the other class. I'm gonna put this in capital. I'm gonna name this T is equal to taking. I think I should capitalize the P over here. P, Paul. So class taking, and for doing the inheritance, you put parentheses and inside the class name. So my class, other class name is people. So I put in every single function of class people inside class talking. So now I'm just gonna do a return because I'm not putting anything in there. Make a function. It's just nothing. So def nothing, because I don't really want this class. I just want to show the inheritance. So def nothing return. Return does basically nothing if you don't give any values. So I'm going to change this back to T, and as you guys see, it's not giving me an error even though I don't have the function person name inside the class taking. And even if I run it, it's going to print out Mark and Cole, because I told it to print out P1 and P2 from taking it from here. So this is how inheritance works. So it's taking the values from this class, it's inheriting the values from that class, and then it's dropping it down. And as you guys see, if I hover over this thing, it says is subclassed by taking. So taking is my other class, and it's saying it's subclassed by my other class taking. And I can even change it here. So I'm gonna name P3, and oh wait, I didn't define any of those, so I'm just gonna define them. And self dot person 3, and P4 is going to be self dot person 4. So I'm gonna print those out to P4. And I changed it over here, not in the taking class, but the taking class still has its values because it's inherited the values from class people inside itself. And let me run that. And if I do any change, it's gonna take any change from the class people inside itself and run it out. So guys, this was it for this video. So I'll meet you guys in the next video. Bye guys.